Rekam balik.
Adakah mahasiswa dapat ini mengulaskan ucapan saya menjemput saudari Intan Zul Sabina, mahasiswa tahun 3 Fakulti Sains. Yang ini silakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Salam sejahtera. Salam perjuangan. Salam pro mahasiswa. Teman-teman, pro mahasiswa pada sesi kali ini membawa 3 agenda. Agenda yang pertama adalah agenda kebajikan. Agenda yang kedua adalah agenda keilmuan. Agenda yang ketiga adalah agenda keharmonian. Hari ini saya akan menekankan mengenai agenda keilmuan. Mengapa pro mahasiswa menekankan agenda keilmuan? Hal ini kerana pro mahasiswa ingin melahirkan mahasiswa-mahasiswi yang bukan hanya cara akan isu-isu semasa, tetapi juga ingin mengetahui dengan lebih jelas dan tepat mengenai isu-isu semasa yang berlaku tidak kira di universiti, negara ataupun luar negara. Oleh itu, seperti yang berlaku di sesi lepas, mahasiswa telah mengadakan diskusi ilmiah. Sebagai contoh, isu GST, isu subsidi, isu Islam dan pemerintahan, dan juga mengenai sejarah Universiti Melayu sendiri pada tahun 60-an. Oleh itu, hari ini juga mahasiswa telah mengadakan pidato bersama Oppah Wahidah. Oppah Wahidah yang merupakan seorang masa yang masa kezaliman kapitalis. Oleh itu saya menyeru rakan-rakan semua untuk turun bersama-sama menghadirkan diri dalam majlis pidato pada malam ini. Akhir kata, student
Power!
Student
Power!
Student
Power!
Yes, terima kasih.
Terima kasih ucapkan kepada saudari Intan Zul Sabina. Jika kita lihat pada baru-baru ini, jika dapat orang sahabat kita, jika dapat orang mahasiswa dan mahasiswa yang dikenakan dekat aku, mereka dikenakan atas sebab kerana mereka menghadiri pimpinan pada minggu lepas. Jika tindakan ini boleh dikenakan kepada mahasiswa dan mahasiswa yang dapat ini, jadi tidak mustahil tindakan ini juga akan dikenakan kepada kita semua. Jadi walaupun ia bukan berlaku kepada kita, tapi tak mustahil dia juga boleh berlaku kepada kita. Jadi seterusnya saya menjemput saudari Ani Syafiqah, mahasiswa tahun 2 Fakulti Bahasa dan Linguistik, untuk mencapai ucapan. Dengan ini dipersilakan.
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, salam solidariti. Saya pada hari ini ingin berkongsi dengan rakan-rakan mahasiswa mengenai isu yang berlaku di UM sekarang ini, iaitu isu 8 mahasiswa yang bakal dikenakan tindakan pada hari Jumaat ini. Mahasiswa, mahasiswi, sahabat-sahabat saya sekalian, tahun ini sahaja untuk pengetahuan sahabat-sahabat, 25 orang mahasiswa telah dikenakan tindakan tata tertib, iaitu di bawah Akta AUKU. Termasuklah 8 mahasiswa yang bakal dikenakan tindakan tata tertib pada hari Jumaat ini. Tindakan tata tertib yang dikenakan adalah disebabkan mahasiswa-mahasiswa tersebut menyertai satu pidato. Hanya kerana menyertai satu pidato, mahasiswa dikenakan tindakan. Jadi saya ingin mengatakan bahawa universiti tidak lagi relevan kerana tidak membenarkan mahasiswa bersuara dan mengamalkan nilai kebebasan akademik. Sahabat-sahabat sekalian, sesungguhnya jika benar kita sayangkan Universiti Melaya, tidak seharusnya kita hanya sekadar bimbangkan pagar roboh dan sebagainya. Roboh pagar maka robohlah universiti. Tidak sekali-kali. Tetapi kita sebagai mahasiswa yang sebenar tahu akan permasalahan dasar yang bakal memusnahkan universiti, bakal memusnahkan fungsi sebenar universiti, dan kita sebagai mahasiswa seharusnya tahu peranan kita kita sebagai stakeholder ataupun orang yang utama untuk menentukan hala tuju universiti. Jadi sahabat-sahabat sekalian, saya menyeru agar kita bersama-sama turun pada hari Jumaat ini bersolidariti di gazebo untuk 8 mahasiswa yang terlibat. Hal ini bukan kerana kita memperjuangkan sosok tubuh mereka semata-mata, akan tetapi kita tahu perjuangan kita adalah perjuangan keadilan bersama kita semua mahasiswa untuk masa depan universiti, masa depan Malaysia dan masa depan kita bersama. Akhir kata, student
Power!
student
Power!
student
Power!
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada saudari Ani Syafiqah. Seterusnya, sebentar speaker corner kita menjemput saudara Sam daripada Fakulti Kejuruteraan tahun 2. Yang ini silakan.
Terima kasih saudara MC. Sila izinkan saya untuk berucap dalam bahasa Inggeris. Well, what comes to your mind when you first hear of the terms academic freedom? I'm very sure that due to the recent series of events, all of us here would have heard this term very, very often, and this term will not be alien to each and every one of us here. So the question is today is, where do we stand on this issue? I am Samuel Yo Zeng Yi, a second-year chemical engineering student from the Faculty of Engineering, and I would like to share with you my views and my opinions on this issue of academic freedom. Well, before we begin, let me start by defining academic freedom. This is what I got from Wikipedia yesterday. Well, academic freedom is the belief that the freedom of inquiry by faculty members is essential to the mission of the academy, as well as the principles of academia, and that scholars should have the freedom to teach or communicate ideas or facts, including those which are inconvenient to external political groups or to authorities, without being targeted for repression, job loss, or imprisonment. Well, I know that that is a lot to swallow. Well, even for me, it took me quite some time to understand what's being said. So let me give you my personal definition of academic freedom. If you were to talk about academic freedom, what comes first to my mind is the freedom to learn, freedom for students to learn, freedom for academicians to learn, freedom for intellectuals to learn. Well, I believe that students and academicians such as ourselves must defend our right to learn and to gather opinions from various parties. One of the very vivid moments I have during my MHS is the talk given to us by Anas Zubedi, a local writer, during one of our sessions. Well, one thing he said which really struck me was that we have to learn by listening to different opinions. It will definitely help us widen our horizons, broaden our perspective, and help us see from different angles. Well, to cut things short, listening is an integral part of learning. Well, I have to admit that the government and also the management of UM has been very responsible when it comes to the welfare of the rakyat. They make sure that we stay clear of sensitive issues because, as you know, sensitive issues can be detrimental to our religious and racial harmony here in Malaysia, which has been built upon for generations and generations. We do not want to lose this harmony we have. But let me tell you something. I believe that students are able to filter, think critically, and determine right from wrong. Is it true? Do you think that we as students can differentiate right from wrong?
Yes!
I'm very sure that all of us think so. I mean, I think in every course we are taught to think critically and creatively. Though we may not subscribe to what's being said or taught, it will definitely help us as students to think of valid reasons why we disagree with something. Because, as you know, if we were to disagree with something, we cannot just say, I disagree with you just because I like to disagree with you. We have to back our disagreement with facts and data. It will definitely train us to think rationally when it comes to this. However, I have a few questions to ask all of us here, including myself. I'm still pondering over these questions myself. The first question will be, will there ever be total academic freedom, especially in a pluralistic society such as Malaysia? Will there be a point where we have to draw the line? And if so, where do we draw the line? The second question, are we being biased in our fight for academic freedom? Well, to answer the first question, we have to look back at the meaning of academic freedom again. Well, academic freedom tells us that we have the right to learn, and anyone can teach or be brought in to UM as a university to be interviewed, to speak or to lecture. Well, if you were to ask me about the first question, I would have to say no, because we have the Constitution, which aims at preventing us from blurting out sensitive issues which can be detrimental to our religious and racial harmony here in Malaysia. But as long as it is not against the Constitution, to me it is perfectly fine to learn and to teach whatever we want to teach. For the second question, I believe that every one of us are biased in some way. It is also my personal challenge. Because, okay, let us look at an example. Let's assume that, for example, I am very for, and I fight very strongly for Anwar Ibrahim to come into UM to speak. Let's assume that. It's a hypothetical situation. Will I do the same for someone else who is barred from entering UM? Because if I really want to say that I fight for academic freedom, I should allow anyone to come to speak, irrespective of whether that person agrees with my political and religious views or not. Okay, so for example, one of the things I may disagree with will be Dato' Ibrahim Ali saying that his statements on the Bible burning are not seditious. Well, I'm not really happy with what's being said, but for me, the meaning of being having academic freedom were to be fighting for Dato' Ibrahim Ali to come into UM to speak on that issue as much as the fight for Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim to come into UM to speak on whatever he has to say. So if I can do it for Dato' Sri Anwar, can I do it for others? So in conclusion, I'm sure that all of us here fight internationally, that's bringing up the name of UM and also in Malaysia. But then again, we have to remember that we must not contradict our stand. If we are all in for academic freedom, if we love intellect, if we love knowledge, we have to act like people who love knowledge. Instead of raising our voices, let us instead have roundtable discussions, forums, and these sort of things in peaceful ways. So our methods may differ. I would like to invite every one of us here to work with me for our goal, which is to have academic freedom here in Malaysia. Well, for the past few days, I've been seeing a lot of squabbling and fighting on Facebook, which I feel is rather not productive. So I have one suggestion. Though we may stand at different ends of the stick in this matter, let us work together. Let us have roundtable discussions or even over a cup of coffee. Because I believe that we have a common goal, which is for the betterment of University Malaya. So about the issue of the 8 students who are to be tried on this Friday, I would like to appeal to the university to cut us some slack, because I believe that HEP cares for students. I believe that University Malaya cares for students, and our aim, the university's aim, is to produce leaders. And I believe that they do not want to see someone's future being destroyed because of one mistake they made. So thank you very much.
Power!
Student!
Power!
Student!
Power!
Seterusnya pada sekurang-kurangnya kita akan tutup pada petang ini, dan pada sekurang-kurangnya kita menyeru kepada semua mahasiswa untuk hadir pada hari Jumaat jam 8.30 di UM Central. Kita akan occupy untuk solidariti bersama dengan 8 mahasiswa yang dikenakan tindakan oku. Sekian. Student!
Power!
Student!
Power!
Student!
Power!
Okay, kita akan saya gambar. Minta semua rapat ke depan. Yang kat sana tu rapat ke depan. Tak gambar.